So, how are all of my beautiful friends doing today? Today I thought I would just bring out a bunch of makeup that I haven't used in a very long time. Honestly, some of these are pretty questionable if they're even still good, but I just want to use them and see if they are, to tell you the truth. But that's what I thought I would do today. Just sit down and we can chat and hang out. I love doing this. I love spending time with you guys, and I truly appreciate you spending time with me. So, if you want to see all the products that I drug out of these drawers, please stick around because we're about to get into all those right now. So, yeah, I thought we would just sit down and chat. I do want to talk to you guys about a few things that have just recently happened. And I did want to dive a little bit further into what was going on with my boss back home in Michigan. I know one of you actually know him. So I just thought I would catch you up with that because I left a lot of that out in the previous video. And I just love hanging out with you guys, catching up and just talking and chatting. And like a lot of you say that, you feel like you're sitting down with a friend. And honestly, that's what's going on here. I truly feel the same way when I'm speaking into this phone. I truly feel all of you guys in the room with me. That's why it just seems easy for me. And I get on these talking rants because I honestly feel like I'm sitting down talking to each and, every one of you. So I just want to put that out there. I'm a chatty person. If this is your first time being here, if you like, someone talking the whole time, then stick around because that's what goes on here. We just hang out like a bunch of girlfriends, and yeah, it's the best. I just absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm just going to be putting on makeup. I will show you what I'm using, of course. This is on its last leg. Now, this primer, I actually get it off Amazon. I've been using the same, oh, this is on, yeah, it's almost out. I've been using the same primer here for years, and it's really good. It's a dupe, I'm going to guess, for the P. Louise. And yeah, it's just, I hope this lighting isn't too bright. I'm having the hardest time with this lighting. I know I will get it at some point, but right now it's been a struggle. Okay, I did turn the lights down just a little bit. I noticed when I put my hand up, like when I get here, it looks like it's getting super bright. So, yeah, again, I'm just going to be playing around with it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and that really helps a lot too. Okay, so the palette I'm going to use today is this one by Makeup Revolution. I love these palettes. I think I picked up 3 of them when they first came out. This one is called the Ethereal Icon. So, I'm wearing a green right now, and actually here in Arizona, I think it's like 86 degrees. Now, here, 86 degrees actually feels chilly now because it's been like in the hundreds, so that's why I wore this, and yeah, it's just going to be a little better. But anyway, that's why I chose this palette. I love the greens in here, so we're just going to come up with a fun look. Okay, so let's start with what I've been up to. I got the job. I told you guys that. And usually, like through the week, that's what I've been doing is just working. And then on the weekends, we hang out with the kids, at least one of the days. So I honestly, we don't see them, tons. We mainly just see them on the weekends. So I think I'm going to, oh, this is, starting out as the hard point. Okay. So let's start with this one here. I don't know how that's going to show up. It looks pretty close to my skin tone. Okay. I got all these magnets here and they're sticking together. Oh no, that works out great. Okay, so yeah, we usually just see them, on the weekends, Saturday usually. Like last night, we went out to a really fun dinner. It's called I don't even know, it's not even a town. It's basically like a shopping center. It's called Prasada, and in there's just a lot of stores and a lot of restaurants. But what I love here is that there's a choice to eat outside or inside, and in Michigan we didn't have that. I mean, there was a few restaurants, but it was so seasonal, that you could eat outside because yeah, Michigan is Michigan. So, yeah, I like that shade. That looks pretty good. So, that's what we did last night. And then we went back to their house and we played cards. Now, that we haven't done in a very long time. And here's the great thing. Usually when we were at the kids, we would play cards. We would go up to the spare bedroom because we were usually here just visiting on a very short trip. And it felt very weird to get in our car and come home and not and realize that we didn't have to make like a early flight the next morning. Okay, so I think I'm going to try just something different here. I'm going to go into this shade right here. It looks like a pretty like brown mauve shade. So let's just go there and see what happens. Okay, so the cards that we played last night, we played euchre. That is a really big a card game in Michigan. I don't know if it's commonly played. I don't know, but it's really big in Michigan. So anyway, we played euchre, and then we were teaching Amanda and Daryl, Kurt and I, how to play. It's called 3 card poker. Like when you go to the casinos, they have this 3 card poker. So Amanda, Amanda and Daryl really wanted to learn how to play that because, if they ever go to the casino, they don't like gambling, but if they were to do something, that is probably something that they would be interested in. And speaking of gambling now, Amanda's 30th birthday is just around the corner. And her and Kurt are actually driving to Vegas and they're going to spend a long weekend there. And yeah, it's only like a 4-hour drive to Vegas. I mean, how cool is that? They're going to Vegas. We're going to be watching their 3 dogs. Again, we're going to have the 5 dogs. We've been doing a lot of dog sitting. Yeah, so it gets really crazy around here when we watch all of the dogs. So I'm going to go into this green again. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to see how this turns out. So I'm actually just going to place that right here because I am going to be using a green shimmer. So maybe that will just make it pop a little bit more. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, we're going to have the 5 dogs again from Wednesday to a Sunday. And yeah, it is pretty crazy around here with the 5 dogs because they're all craving our attention. So if I hold one, the other one starts yipping and, they all start, oh, it's hilarious. They're all fighting for our attention. And it's comical and crazy at the same time. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. Now, Daryl and I will probably end up doing something during the day on the weekend. I was looking into, there's a lot of like places where you can go and just rent like a day pass at like resorts and stuff to use their pool. So we might do something like that because it's going to be very hot. Okay, so now where I think I'm going to go is let's use this really pretty green there. Now there is a really nice, I guess that would be like a forest green shimmer, but it's more like a satin finish. This one's more, it looks like a topper. So I think with that green under it, it's going to make that a pop just a little bit more. So that is the plan and what we've been doing, what my weekends look like. When the kids first moved here, I was like, there is no way I could live in this hot desert brown, but there's actually palm trees and stuff. It's just bizarre how it works around here. Yeah, I mean, you could be looking out in the dirt and desert, and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by tons of like palm trees. So that is pretty much the eye look that I came up with, and yeah, it's not too shabby. I think with the rest of my makeup, it's going to look really pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to use this eyeliner here by Revant. You guys will see these a lot on this channel because I really do enjoy these. They're very long lasting, easy to work with. I like that there's a bunch of different shades. Like today I'm going to use this green one. So this one's more like a Kelly green, I guess, but we're going to make, this work. And maybe it would just really add a little pizzazz to this look as well. So, yeah, okay, let's see. The next subject I did want to touch on again is my boss. So yes, he does have cancer. It's a very aggressive cancer, and he had the surgery. And let me just tell you, I don't know about this green with this look. Oh, well. And let me just tell you how guilty I felt leaving. It was really weighing heavy on my shoulders. I couldn't tell him how sorry I was when I was, this all went down. But when I decided to sell the house, he had, mentioned to me that he was going to, I didn't want to say too much on here because a lot of the girls, I don't know who watches my channel, but I just didn't want to overstep my boundaries. So I didn't, I was very limited of what I could say. So, but anyway, he had told me that he was going to sell the practice if he could because he just wanted out. He doesn't know the future with this cancer. He doesn't know the treatment that he would need. And he just wanted his family to feel secure. So that's why I knew he was selling the practice, but I don't know. When I put up my house, I honestly thought it would never sell as quickly as it did. So I had every intention of, I thought I was going to put the house up and it was going to take months and him and I would be selling, he'd be selling his practice. I'd be selling my house at the same time. Well, that obviously didn't happen. So yeah, that poor guy, I mean, he is really bad with that. If you look up anaplastic cancer, you're going to see why I'm so worried. I mean, the chances are, yeah, honestly, and he knows that this is nothing new. I'm not, but when he was first diagnosed, like his chances were 1% because of the cancer they had. But they did so many experimental drugs and stuff on him. It really worked for the longest time. I think I do want to use a primer today. So I'm going to use this one here by Elemis. I think I tried this recently and I liked it. It's the Superfood Glow Primer Moisturizer. So I am going to use this and we will see how it works with this foundation that I chose. So now he has to go through chemo and radiation aggressive. And so that's why I'm so glad he sold the practice because I really don't know how he would have worked under that condition anyway, because it's aggressive. And to tell you about my boss and the reason why all this is so devastating, he's basically my age. He's like 50. I think he's 55. I'm 54. And okay, real quick, the foundation I'm going to use today is I'm going to be using a lot of this line. I figured if I'm going to pull out this, I'm going to pull out a lot of it because I haven't used it in a very long time. LYS. And I remember absolutely loving this foundation. This is the triple, what is this? Triple fix, is it? I have really bad eyesight, just so you know. And the shade, it looks like MN5. Now, this is way too dark. I must have purchased this when I was tanning or something, or, I don't know. I can't imagine me, tanning while I was doing this channel, but yeah, it's super deep. So I'm going to have to, well, it could work because I have been self-tanning and oh no, it's not going to work. Yeah, that shade is just not going to work. So what I do under these circumstances is I'm going to add a little bit of white pigment from LA a Girl. And I think I'm going to need a little bit. So I think I'm going to use about that much. And then it did look a tad yellow. So I'm just going to, this is really pigmented. So you got to be careful. I'm going to use the LA Girl in blue. And I'm just going to add like that much. I mean, very little. Again, if you use too much blue, yeah, it becomes a problem really quick. So I'm just going to mix this together. Okay, let's see what shade this came out to be. Yeah, that's much better. I think it's going to be a heck of a lot better than what it was. So where was I? Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about my boss, just so you know a little bit about him, because he is a really special person to my family. Yeah, we became really good and close, friends, and all of us at the office, and that's the thing. I got this new job, but honestly, I don't think I will ever find an office that I absolutely loved like I did Dr. Leo's office because the girls were great. I've been doing this since 1989, so I've worked in a lot of dental offices through the years. And honestly, this was like the one, it was just absolutely perfect. The hours, the flexibility, like I said, the staff, just everything was just perfect. It was the perfect. I'm not kidding you when I talk about the perfect job. I mean, it had its moments, don't get me wrong, but other than that, yeah, I don't think I'll ever find a job like that. Okay, girl, this looks really good. I do truly remember loving how this foundation looked. And I stopped using it for the longest time, as you can see, because it's such a shade issue. But it looks really pretty on the skin. Yeah, it has like a nice glow, and I don't know if it's because this is under it and also that sunblock, but yeah, there's just a nice radiance. I would think anything with me lately, if I use too much of it, it just looks really cakey. So I just have to be super careful and not apply too much. And then honestly, using the sponge really presses it into the skin, and also it's picking up any of the excess that's just sitting on top. Okay, and I'm going to use their concealer too. Again, I haven't used this in a while, and it's all very old. This is, I know, expired, all this stuff, so hopefully I don't break out crazy. And this is called the Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade, it looks like LP4. So I've been doing this a lot lately, and I've been applying my concealer and just letting it sit for just a few minutes. And honestly, it does. I'm sounding like a broken record, especially for you guys that are here every single video. Yeah, but it does make a huge difference. And the reason why I'm putting this here is I'm developing these new lines that, so I feel in my head that it does help, but we will see. So I'm just going to let this sit for a few minutes. So again, Dr. Leo, let's get back to him because he does deserve everything that I'm about to say because he is just amazing. So he is just that person that is so full of life. I mean, he absolutely is the life of the party. He wants to be the life of the party. The world is his stage, literally. Like he could go. Let me just tell you a story. Let me just give you an idea about Dr. Leo. Okay, now where is my bronzer? Like I mentioned, yeah, it was down the hall because it grew legs and walked out. It was sitting right here. I swear, sometimes it's what I feel like. Has legs and runs out of here. Okay, so I'm going to use their stick bronzer. This has gone so viral, recently over on TT. And I got mine in the shade Harmony. Now, this shade is pretty intense, but it blends out beautifully. And if I'm just very light with the application, it will work. So yeah, the world is this man's stage. Let me just tell you that story where I was at. Okay, so now this is before my time that I got hired there, but I heard the story and it's just classic Dr. Leo stuff here. So he took the staff for Christmas to it's called the Fox Theater in Michigan. And the Fox Theater is just a very old theater, and usually there's plays and stuff like that. So he is an actor too, just FYI. He would do plays himself. And he belonged to a club, and every year he was in a play. He was just very theatrical. He's just very drama. So anyway, he took the staff to this play. Well, Dr. Leo likes to have a few cocktails. Let me just tell you, he loves his cocktails. That's when the world becomes his stage. Well, he was so bad in the Fox Theater that they got kicked out of the Fox Theater. I'm like, oh my God, that does not surprise me one a bit. So yeah, that, that the acting and even at work, he was just very theatrical, he I would be sitting there and he gets all, worked up because, things are, not going his way. And he just gets very drama and you have to go, okay, calm down, But yeah, we just had so much fun. Laughed and laughed and oh my gosh, the things, the pranks, the stuff that came out of his mouth. I mean, it just was so that's what's so devastating to me, is like, I know, of course, this is going to, it already has slowed him down so much because he's so exhausted and he's got to be so careful, of course. And plus, once he had, the first surgery, even being back to work, I don't know how he did it, bless his heart. His voice, I mean, for him to talk, he had a strain, and it was really raspy and yeah, it was bad. So, and you could tell like it took everything because like he said to me, he was, I'm actually screaming so you can hear me, but it was, just very straight. So anyway, yeah, so that has slowed him down completely, of course, and I'm just hoping everything works out and he can just have his little fun life back. And, he belongs to so many different things. And yeah, so that was, I'm telling you guys, I am telling you, let your concealer sit there for a few minutes. It makes a difference. I hate concealer. Just nothing works for me. And I just went over my I just went over my eyeliner with my concealer. This is a nice concealer anyway. So I did want to tell you guys about that. I do appreciate all your guys' prayers and when you guys say something in regards to it because he really could use every single prayer that is given, and I'm just, yeah, I pray all the time for him. I'm constantly checking on him, just making sure he, what's going on, anything could change in a second. But enough about me. What are you guys up to? I would like to, tell me in the comments, what's going on in your guys' life. I know a lot of you had just moved. How are you liking where you moved? And yeah, just let me know. I love reading the comments. You guys know how I do. I try to respond to every single one. I'm so happy that I'm able, to do that. Sometimes it's taken me a few days because like I said, my schedule has changed completely, but I really try to answer each and every one of you. Okay, and then I think for, let's see, for just to set around the T-zone, like I've mentioned before, I like using a loose powder. So I'm just going to use my one by Laura Mercier. It's the talc-free one. So I'm just going to place quite a bit. Like this is what I do. At first it looks ridiculous, but I put quite a bit on my poof poof and I just really press that into the T-zone. And that's just going to really keep my oils controlled. It does blur quite a bit and also my makeup should last a little longer throughout the day. And then to set the rest of my face, I actually have one of their powders. And this is just in translucent. I love their packaging. I think it is so pretty. And yeah, I just love it how everything is like a triangle. If you just look, the caps, everything. So anyway, it looks like this. I have not used this in a very long time. Watch this new trick. So my brushes are over there. I've been doing this a lot lately. Watch me mess up, but take it and I catch it. Oh, the things that make me laugh. I don't know, you guys. I I am a little silly on myself. Let me just tell you, if you would see me a regular day, you would probably think I was insane. Okay, for blush, I'm going to use this one by Catrice. I actually wanted to use the cream part two, and I totally forgot. But I think I can go over the powder with this one because it's more like a powdery finish anyway. So I think we'll be okay. So I'm actually going to, let's see, take this brush and I'm going to go into the cream shade right now and just go here. Yeah, so I love making people laugh. That is just my gig. So, ooh, that is really pretty. I love this duo. I've used this quite a bit on the channel and off camera. I've been using it, and yeah, it's very long lasting, and I love the formula. And yeah, I do need to get more colors of this for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to go over it, of course, with the powder formula here. And oh, I probably should tell you the shade. So it looks like it is called a peach passion is the shade here. And yeah, it's just very smoothing on the skin. And I always do this. I place a little bit in my eyeshadow. And also I feel like this brush here, it just kind of smooths the eyeshadow out because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I place just too much on the outer corner and it kind of bunches up in that corner. So I feel like that just kind of smooths things out. Okay, so I just curl my lashes, and I think for my mascara, I'm going to use my Maybelline Sky High. This is just a tester one. God knows how old this is, but I remember when this first came out, I really liked it a lot. So this is the one. So we will try this out and see how I still like it. But let me look at my skin really quick. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. I even the powder, the one that I use, the LYS, that looks really nice. Now, it doesn't have any glow or anything like my other ones I've been using lately, but it's just very soft. It doesn't look super powdery at all. It looks just very natural. So hopefully it just sets my makeup pretty good throughout the day. So let me just do a couple coats of this on camera just so I can talk about it and let you know what I think. Yeah, I do remember now that the wand is a little flimsy, but it does grab the lashes pretty good. It's separating pretty good. It's given my lashes some length. And yeah, I just feel like the wand is a little difficult to work with, but maybe the flexibility is giving it the ease to separate the lashes a little quicker and easier. So that's just a few coats. So yeah, not too shabby. So what I'll do is my two coats, I'll come back and then we'll finish off this look. Okay, so I'm just finishing up the two coats here and everything applied pretty easy. I do have a little bit of a mess, so I will see if that flicks off really good. Now, I don't think mascara is going to hit, it's supposed to have that potent of a smell. So yeah, I think this is kind of old. And yeah, hopefully my eyes don't, I don't know, turn red and get styes and God knows what. Okay. So I'm just going to let that dry on the lids and then I'll flick it away. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go into, let's see, where is that, did that grow legs too? Let's go back into the green pencil here. I am gonna place a little bit on my lower lash line, just here on the outer corner, and just connect it to my little wing. And then I'm actually, what I think I'm gonna do is use this one here because I didn't use that shade. So again, that's like a little satin finish. And I'm just going to dip it in that little matte green one too. And just use that all along the lower lash line. And I'm using a really light hand because I don't want to go too crazy there. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks really nice. I like how that looks. I like using a shimmer sometimes on the lower lash line because I just feel like it adds a little something. And I feel like also that people will look more towards a focus towards that area instead of her wrinkles. That's what I tell myself. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I'm telling myself. Okay, so I think the mascara, let's see how, easy that is to flick away. And yeah, it seems pretty easy. That's not one of my easiest ones to flick away, but yeah, it wasn't too crazy. Okay, so for my eyebrows, what I think I'm going to do is take this here is called a Got To Be. It's actually for, I think, your hair. But I use this every once in a while. So, I mean, if you want your brows to stay in place, that's what you use. And I just place a little bit on the back of my hand. I have my little spoolie here. And I'm just going to give my eyebrows just a little bit of shape. Yeah, your eyebrows will not budge if you get this stuff. And I do know that they sell it now, like in a mascara, a tube type of situation. I feel like something's on my spoolie, but I don't think so. So yeah, as you can see, it just gave my eyebrows just a little bit of fluffiness. Okay, and then for my lipstick, what I brought out is I'm going to use, I don't think I brought out a lip pencil, so that's okay. Let's just use this lipstick. So I actually found that I do have YS's lipsticks. I totally forgot that I had it. Now, I cannot see the shade here whatsoever. Let me get my little, well, not my little, my huge magnifying glass here, and I probably still can't see it. No, I would have to put on my glasses and everything. I mean, that is way too small. I'll put it up here in the description box. Okay, so this is the shade here. Hopefully this shade goes with this look. I don't know. We will see. So, oh no, I don't think so. Yeah, this is almost, uh, mm-mm. What, you know what? Let's just see. Let's keep moving on. It's a beautiful shade. It's more like a pink. You know what? It might work, you guys. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. So what I think I'm gonna go over it with is this here by Essence. This is like that lip gloss that they have, but this one is more. There's probably a shade on here, and I can't. Yeah, it's wore off everything, but there's a little bit of glitter in it, and maybe this will tone down that pink because it's more like, I don't know, like a beige undertone. Let's see if that helps. And I'm just gonna take my finger and move things around. You think that helped? I don't know. I can't tell if I like it, but we're just going to keep it for now. We're going to make it work. Okay, and then for my inner corner, I'm going to use this here by NYX. Now, this is in cottage cheese. Now, this is just really intense. And yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's just really intense. So you got to be careful. So I'm just going to place a little bit in my inner corner here, just to really brighten that up. Yeah, as you can see, it just gives it a little bit of, I don't know, makes your eyes look a little bit more open and awake. So yeah, you just gotta be really careful. Okay, so this is the final look. I really love how everything turned out. I really love that green shimmer in that palette. And I think the lip, actually, the lip combination does look okay with this look now that I brought my hair down and it just seemed like everything came together. But yeah, I am super happy with the makeup. Hopefully, like I said, a lot of this I know is expired. So I don't know. Oh, I forgot. I did want to use this here. I haven't used this setting spray forever. And I think I didn't like it before. We're going to see if I like it now because I feel like there's just a little bit of oil or something. And it just, I don't know. There was something about it. And I'm going to remind myself, but I'm going to try it. And anyway, it's by a Rare Beauty. So I'm just going to do a very light application, and I am going to spray my sponge, and I am going to set under my eyes. If you've never done this, give it a try because it really does smooth things out, and it really helps for, your concealer not to crease. So yeah, okay, so it looks pretty good. Maybe my makeup just didn't last long when I used it. I don't know, but I'm super happy I brought it out. Okay, I will let you guys know in the description box how everything held up, if I didn't break out some major rash. And yeah, and hopefully the makeup is good because I really do love that foundation. I think it, ooh, I just dropped everything. I think it looks really pretty, very natural on the skin. Yeah, it just looks really nice. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I do want to put a shout out or to thank these ladies here for, giving me that, I don't even know what to call it. I think it's called a thanks or something. I honestly, until recently, did not know it existed. Maybe it's new. I just didn't know, but I cannot thank you enough. And, a couple of you have left a couple, I'm just going to call them tips. And I cannot thank you enough. It is just so sweet of you to do that, and honestly, none of you have to do that. But, for you to do that takes some time and your money, that is just, it touches my heart. Some people are just very, very generous, but thank you so much. I want you to know it is going to go back into the channel. It helps me so much to purchase a new, products for me to review. So thank you so much again. Thank you, all of you that, come here to support me, that are here in every video. You guys comment, you guys like. I cannot tell you how much that engagement helps me and how much it means to me. And I truly, truly love reading your comments. It means everything. Honestly, there's so many times I just want to hang up my brushes and call it a day, and I will read your comments. And yeah, it's just like, yeah, it changes everything. So I just want you to know with all my heart, I am just truly thankful. All right, you guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please like the video. I know you guys will comment. I don't even have to tell you, but if you are new and haven't subscribed, please do so. I would love to see you again. I can't wait to see all of you again. I love you so much. And until next time.